Hello everybody, my name is Ender the Cat, and it's time for props from the past. Or I'm just gonna lick my my thigh. There's our thumbnail. Well, hello friends, happy Friday. Time for our props from the past, a pair of blasters from Star Wars.
Yeah, I couldn't just pick one of them.
They're also pretty short.
Yeah, I think that was part of it too. So this is back in 2015 in December. Bill did the Nerf gun Stormtrooper blaster, which I don't think you can get anymore except used. Like, I don't think they're out anymore. I saw someone posting that they got one on eBay because the ones listed are like $100 or something.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a collector's item.
Yeah, and I gave mine away.
Yeah, we don't have it anymore. And the other video was done a couple months later in April. April 4th is when the video came out, on your birthday.
That's right.
So that was in 2016, and that's the Han Solo blaster.
Still have that and made a belt and everything for that.
It's one of our first props from the past videos. Bill went over the belt making video, so
Yeah.
I'll link to that down below. But we never did the blaster, probably because, again, it was a shorter video. So, but now we can go over both of them, and I'm curious to see in just a couple months how your finishing of like a bright orange kit kind of changes, and also the video production.
Right.
They're both 720p, so they're like the lower resolution videos, all the old school stuff. But maybe there's more build footage in the second one, or maybe the builds are the same. I don't know.
Let's find out. Starting with the Stormtrooper blaster.
Come on! Damn it! Turns out, it's not the Stormtroopers that suck, it's their guns.
Wait, listen. Ender's using the litter box, and he likes to, when he leaves the litter box, to scratch the wall.
Yeah, and not bury his poop. That's how he rolls. And he's all done.
Oh. That wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Prop Shop. I'm Bill Duran, and I'm here today to repaint a Nerf gun, but not just
Miss those
any
glasses.
Nerf gun.
Those are good glasses.
Star Wars Week.
I noticed in the background your screensaver you have set up is the foam smithing images. We used to accept submissions of people's costumes. They made parts of them out of foam, and we had a whole collection of the images, and we'd have them as a screensaver. We stopped accepting submissions because we had too many.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Took up a lot of our time.
Which is a good problem to have.
I think that computer still has all that on it. I have
Awesome.
never formatted it.
And I thought, what better way to get in the mood than by making a really cool and legit Star Wars prop. Now, I've done Nerf mods in the past, and they're really, really fun. This one is no different, but the one I did
the hammer
in the past,
shot.
I modified so it wouldn't fire anymore. This one
I don't have
is
that
still
anymore either.
totally
No.
functional.
You used to give away
Nerf
all
is
your
selling
stuff.
I think I sold
totally
that one.
legit
That one you
blasters.
sold.
And the only problem is they look like toys. They have orange on them and logos and stuff. So I'm going to show you how to take that really cool Nerf toy and repaint it to look like a totally awesome prop. This is all just really basic painting stuff. So let's get started.
Let's do that.
First, I sanded off all the logos. It's got the word Star Wars on there a couple of times. I'm pretty sure Stormtroopers don't need to be reminded that they're in a movie. So those got sanded right off and smoothed
That's
out
something
using
that
the
always,
sanders.
like, part of the reason I got into prop making is because whenever toys are made from a franchise, right, they have modifications made to the toys. Like, they'll change it so that it's easier to mold and cast. They'll change it for safety reasons. They'll change it for branding reasons. The branding reasons, that's easy enough to fix. Here, buddy.
He's being feisty.
He is.
He was scratching your chair.
Yeah.
He got me earlier today.
He got me too,
Yeah.
a little bit. I didn't bleed nearly as much as you did.
We trimmed their nails and it's past due. Got a death claws.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was
There's
distracted.
also some like warnings and crap that.
Of course, there's warning.
No one needs those.
Warning
Then the entire
things you
surface
gotta get
got
rid of
sanded
too.
with a sanding sponge. This type of plastic is notorious for not gripping paint very well. So I wanted
Yeah,
to
if there's
have
one
like,
takeaway if you're new to
scuffed
modding
up
or
surface so
painting
that our paint
toys,
would have something to bind to.
buff it
Then
all with like
everything
a
got
Scotch
hung
Brite
up for
pad.
painting.
That'll
For example,
help.
the magazine part, I wrapped a bunch of tape around it. I didn't want the part that goes into the gun to get painted at all so that it would still function properly. So I masked that off, and then I used that masking tape to hang it up. I also put a piece of
I didn't
foam
film
in the
any of
scope
that.
No, of
to
course
hang
not.
it. And the gun has a little
Oh, that's a fun little temporary
part on
hanger.
the
Just
sight.
jamming
that
foam
works.
in
Just
there.
hung some wire through. Then everything got painted with a white paint. This is a Krylon Fusion spray paint. I did, I think,
I have found that the Krylon Fusion brand
the
stuff sticks to this kind of plastic the best that I found. There may be other better paints, but the ones I've tried, this is the best. But I have heard that they use different formulas in different states. So like in California, they use a different formulation of it that may not perform as well as the stuff we get up here in Washington.
Yeah, if you have any local primer paints that say like plastic adhesion, that might help.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's probably worth trying out on a small thing just so you can see how it reacts. Because
Right.
it's always such a bummer when you get to like the masking stage and you peel the paint off down to the orange. It's a huge bummer.
The orange was covered mostly. When that was dry, I masked off all the areas that I wanted to stay white and kept.
You can see in the
areas that
background I had
wanted to black.
an action figure from the new movie up as my reference for what to paint and what not to paint.
That's smart.
Visible. This was
Smart
probably the
guy.
part that took the longest, probably about an hour to carefully mask off all of those areas. It does take a little while, but it is totally
And I did
worth
paint
it
the
because
white
once
first
everything is masked off,
and
all
then
you
the
have
black
to do is
after.
spray
It's
on the
usually a
next
better idea to go with lighter colors first because the darker colors are going to cover them easier.
layer of paint. In this case, I used a black flat primer because it's what I had lying around, but it looked really great on this. So all the pieces got sprayed black. When those were dry, there's some silver on the scope, so I masked off more of those spots and then sprayed it with a little bit of silver spray paint.
Helpful
Once
beast
everything
over
was
there.
dry, I got to peel off all of the masking tape. This part's really satisfying.
Yeah, it
You can
is.
see all of your hard work.
See, that's
sort
a
of
that's a
come
pretty
to
good time
fruition.
lapse there.
At this point,
We're time-lapse
it takes about an
snobs
hour
over
to
here.
Put it all on, then like 2 minutes to take
Is
it
that
all
where that
off.
goes?
I did a little bit more.
For no reason whatsoever, there's lightsaber blade parts over here
Yeah.
for a future project.
And this cat is very interested in
Yeah, no, don't knock these off the counter.
that.
He's such a pest. You go that way.
Painting, there's some black areas that need some fixing up, so I just used a brush and some black acrylic paint. And then I punched a hole in a card and dabbed on these 3 red dots that are on either side.
That looked like it
Now,
didn't
at this
work
point, you
No.
really
can call
great.
it
It looked like the
totally
paint you
done.
had wasn't very
Totally
pigment heavy.
Yeah.
being fresh off the Star Destroyer. But I wanted mine to look like it's been bouncing around the forest moon of Endor for a while, so I weathered mine up a whole bunch. This was done with just some black and brown acrylic.
It's hard to
paint
keep
that I
white
weathered
props
down just a
white
little bit.
as well,
And
so
I
you
just
might as well
went
dirty
crazy
them up a whole
brushing
bunch.
paint all over the entire surface. I made sure to get paint in all of the nooks and crannies because those are the areas that are going to accumulate this dirt and grime and dust. So, covered all the surfaces in paint, and then using a paper towel, I wiped most of it off. Now, white likes to get dirty. It doesn't stay clean very easily. So I spent most of my time trying to clean those areas off so it didn't look too dirty. I used a bunch of different paper towels, wet paper towels, and just tried to clean it up a whole bunch until I was really happy with it. Now,
I
you
find
can see
that-
if you look at the clean side versus the dirty side.
I
how
can't
much of
see. There's a
difference
giant
this
cat in
makes,
the
how
way.
much more real it is.
I find nowadays when I do a lot of this type of weathering, instead of wiping a ton, I do a lot of pouncing. Like you grab a balled up rag or something and like.
Is that
Just-
is it called pouncing? Because
I
that's
think
pretty
so.
great. I like that. Is that like what Adam does with his Fuller's Earth sack?
Yeah, but that way you get like you don't get wipe textures. You get unless that's what you want to tell the story, but you get like some texture, especially from like a terry cloth towel instead of a like a paper towel.
This cat.
He just wants to be the star of the show. See
Now,
if I
these
can
black
see around it.
areas are just really flat black. So to add a little more contrast, I used a silver Sharpie to highlight some of those edges. This looks especially good at
Yeah,
textured
it
areas
makes such a
like
difference.
Nerf.
Rub and
Once I
buff
went
looks
over the
really
whole
good on
thing,
that
I was
too.
really, really happy with it. I could call it done. I like to finish off pieces like this with some flat, clear spray paint to protect the paint.
Actually, usually don't use clear paint for many things anymore to seal it.
Yeah, Steve Smith pointed out a few years ago. I think it was when he was guesting in our video showing how he was going to paint his cyberpunk gun, about how like if you do all your weathering and then clear coat it, it's all going to have the same specularity to it.
Right.
So your metallic highlight parts aren't going to be as noticeable because the white parts are also shiny.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something to consider.
Yeah, I'll use a clear coat if I need to protect between layers of paint. So, for example, if I do like an all-clad lacquer, and then I want to do oil paint over that to weather it, I need a clear coat between them. Otherwise, the oil paints will just like totally go right through the lacquer.
But yeah, if you do weathering at the very end, you don't really have to seal that in.
Right.
You just leave it.
Yeah. This cat, he takes up more than 50% of the screen.
Like you just see a lump on the camera, but
Yeah.
there's a big cat there.
Once it's all in there.
Gotta get
But
those beauty
it's
shots.
all done. And this thing
That looks pretty
seriously
good.
took me
I
like
think
3
that
hours to knock
weathering's
out.
a
It was
little
really fun.
heavy-handed,
You should
but-
definitely go give
It's
it
a little,
try. There'll be a link
uniform.
to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
gun where you
I think
can
it's
buy
hard
that
to do
in
that
the
with white
description.
props,
And
though.
all of the
It
tools and
takes
materials
on,
that I use
weathering
will
too
also
much.
be linked down below. So go ahead, give it a try. If you'd like to learn more
This would be
about
one that,
finishing techniques, my buddy Harrison
Those
Cricks wrote a
water
book.
mixable oil paints would be really good on that.
Because you really take them off.
Instead of acrylics,
Yeah, because it's like if you have a big chunk of a white area, you don't want it to be evenly weathered across it, but with white, it's hard to pull back.
Right.
So with something you can take off with water, really.
Yeah, those
easy.
oil mixable or water mixable oil paints, they take forever to dry, which gives you tons of time, like a day or two to tweak it a little bit.
All about painting and finishing.
Oh yeah, that's still
Definitely go
available
grab
on
that
our store if
ebook.
anyone
It's
wants to
on
go
the
buy
Punished Prop
Harrison's
store.
book.
Again,
Still
link
lots
down
of
below.
really
Go
good
grab
relevant
that today.
information.
It's totally worth it. Also, of course, check out some of our painting videos. We've got some more painting videos.
See what
you can
else
check
we
out,
have over
including
there.
that Nerf mod I did a couple months ago. and
Destiny
there you go.
stuff.
Have fun
Yeah, some
watching
District
Star Wars
9.
Oh,
Episode
yeah.
7. I know I'll be there. I've already got my ticket purchased. I'm really excited to see some new Star Wars action.
Oh, this was right
Thank
when
you
the new Star Wars movies were coming out. How about that?
guys for checking out this video. And of course, now I need to go find where all of those Nerf darts went.
They're still there to this day.
Yeah.
In Star Wars. Bye.
Oh, we're gonna go straight into the next one? Oh.
Nailed it. I was supposed to miss.
Even then, you're doing fun little bits. Ooh, which beer is that?
I don't know. All right, so this is the Han Solo blaster. I don't know if you can tell from my picture perfect Han Solo costume.
Sweet jacket.
Chewie! Bring the Falcon around! Get the Falcon! We have to find Luke!
So this was after we saw the new movie. Nice.
Nice. Damn right I shot first. Chewbacca! Get the Falcon! We have to find Luke! Alright.
You look very Rob in that.
I do.
Cosplay is serious business, you guys.
You're right. Like I have an identical twin brother, and sometimes like I look very much like him. Why is there I mean, I always look like him, but sometimes I see myself and I think I look a lot like him. You're right. I look very much like
A
Rob.
cat just tried to climb on Bill's chair.
Greetings, fellow makers, and
Good.
welcome down to the prop shop. I'm Han Solo
What a
today, and I'm going to show you how I painted a cheap toy blaster to look like Han Solo's DL-44. As you can
And then look at the scripts.
Yep,
see, I am putting together a Han Solo, an old man Han Solo costume for Emerald City Comic Con this weekend, and of course I needed a sidearm. Now at some point I will make a super legit DL-44.
Someday.
Someday, and I bought a Nerf gun for that, or not a Nerf gun, an airsoft gun for that, and it's really, really good.
Wait, didn't you get one that was tiny? Or is that a
I
different
did.
one?
I got a tiny one as well. I did not look at the size on the Amazon listing, and it was very wee.
The price should have given it away, but we're like, what a deal!
All of the
And of course, I kept it.
Oh, it's getting to the age now where we should like have one of our nephews cosplay
That'd be pretty good.
little Han Solo.
Yep.
parts that I
But
can
an
muster
incredibly legit
and a
DL-44.
Maybe not.
Mauser and all the cool stuff. But I needed a blaster quickly for Emerald City this weekend, so I picked this guy up on Amazon for a measly 17.
Is that a Ruby's
United
one?
States
Yeah.
dollars. And it's pretty good. It's not great. There are some obvious differences, but for the price, and the time it took to get it finished, it is so worth it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get this thing painted. First, I took off the handle grips. That's where they hold the batteries.
This is a very blue shot.
And I figured it would be easier.
I wonder if I had the white balance set by accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I wanted this thing to be a little bit heavier. It's really
it's our old grinder.
Nice.
Lightweight. So
that grinder
I took some
died
steel
recently.
bars and
That
cut them
glue gun
up,
is
take
no
them-
longer.
That glue gun also not with us. I did replace that grinder with a much more expensive one.
A battery powered.
Yeah.
together, and then when I unscrewed the body, I could jam them in there and hot glue them in place to give it a
See,
little
this
bit
shot isn't as blue. I must have
Yeah.
had like the manual white balance on for some reason.
more weight. Of course, this is totally optional, but I feel it
Cat.
really lends itself to the fiction of having.
I just need to take a photo of this so you guys can see what it's like from our view. And why would he? There we go. I was gonna say, why would he play along now?
A nice heavy blaster. I also drilled out the end of the barrel with a Dremel tool and the scope.
We haven't played with him
Doing
this
with the
morning,
scope
so
meant I could also add
he's
a
being
threaded
dramatic.
steel
We
rod.
played with. We both sustained injuries from playing with him
Well, it
earlier.
wasn't enough.
in there again, giving it a little bit more weight. Also, this just got put in place.
That's
Because I
good.
really don't like the screw holes.
That might be
hold
the
this together,
thumbnail
so
right there.
I filled those in with a little bit of Bondo. When it was all cured, I was able to
Yeah,
sand it
filling
all
in
down
those
nice and
screw
they
holes makes
vanished.
such a difference.
Oh, so I learned this from Evil Ted. If you make a little squeezy bag, like get a Ziploc bag and you cut just a tiny corner off of it. Well,
like a pastry.
yeah, first fill it, mix up your Bondo, quickly put it in there, zip it shut, and then cut the end of it, and you can pastry poop in your Bondo into holes like that, and it won't leave much of an air bubble in there. It's
yeah.
totally possible to fill that and not realize you've captured a bubble under it.
Yeah.
But also you can just really quickly
Yeah.
and then just throw the Ziploc bag away.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the whole thing got sanded down with a sanding sponge to get it ready for paint. I drilled a hole through the handle so that I could hang this up with some hanger wire, and then I got to painting. I started with a base coat of black Krylon Fusion. This sticks to the plastic.
Yeah, we used to
Yep.
use
really
Krylon
well,
Fusion
and
a
it
lot for our
dries pretty
primers.
quickly.
Yeah.
The grips
back in
got
the day.
something similar, only I went with a brown. When that was all dry, I hit everything with the base coat of color, which in this case, I went with a silver. Now, I used some acrylic paints
do some
in
paint
my
chipping on this
airbrush,
one.
but you could just as easily get away with a rattle can of your favorite metallic spray paint. I also went over the flash suppressor and gave it a little bit of a bronze color, just to set it off a bit. From
Are those the
rest of gun.
metallizers?
When all
No,
of
I think
that
those
was
are just,
dry, I got out
Those
my
are just Tamiya's.
Ghost mustard.
Ghost mustard. Hey, so we've used a bunch of different paint masking fluids. I have some professional latex from the art store. I've used mustard. I've used toothpaste.
Hairspray.
Yeah, I think for this type of chipping, the toothpaste is probably my favorite. And you use like a toothpick to apply it.
And mustard, that's right, the delicious condiment. This was used to mask off little
this all
areas
works,
on the
though.
gun that I wanted to look like chips.
Yeah, it's whatever you have. I know some
later.
people like
I just
Vaseline.
used
Yeah,
a
yeah.
brush and dabbed on
I like the
delicious
toothpaste because
goo
it's water
on any
soluble.
spot that I
And
wanted
it's
to
usually
remain
minty
silver
fresh.
after
Oh, yeah.
painting
You don't
over
want to
the
get the
top
really
of it. I
strong
also went ahead and
toothpaste
masked
stuff
off
though, so you
that
can take
flash
off your
suppressor.
paint.
Yeah.
Then the whole thing got painted black.
Like, I don't think you want anything with
I used
hydrogen
my
peroxide.
airbrush, but of course you could go back to that
The
Krylon
cheapest
Fusion black spray paint
whatever,
or whatever rattle
cheap
can you've got lying around.
toothpaste
Then
you
I
got.
waited for all of that to dry. Now, before I get to weathering, I have got to tell you guys about my new
Oh my
book,
goodness!
Foamsmith 2, How to Forge Foam Weapons. This is just out just a couple of days ago. It's got an ebook version. It's got a print version. You should
I don't have
definitely go
that
check it
gun
out.
anime I gave it
shows
to
you
the
everything
artist,
you
or
need to know
I
to
sold
make
it to the
weapons
artist
completely from
at
scratch
Bungie
with
who
EA foam
made it for the
look
game.
Absolutely amazing. You can head on over to punishprops.com.
Matt. His name was
grab
Matt.
your copy today. Now, back to the paint job. Once that outer coat of black paint
Yeah,
was
so this is
dry,
fun. Like
I
getting
could
to
take a
go
damp
in
cloth
chip
or a
off the
paper towel
chips like that.
and wipe away the mustard.
Awesome.
The effect that this leaves behind is really, really cool. The black paint literally chips away, and you're left with spots that have that silver peeking through below, and it really looks.
So this is a thing where you might want to clear coat that silver beforehand.
So you don't accidentally rub through the silver too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you let it dry really well, you should be okay. But just throwing that in there, that might be a sort of thing.
That's a great pause too, because you can really see the difference between using a silver Sharpie, where it doesn't. You don't really get those tiny little speckly specks.
Yeah, or the edges looking really sort of jaggedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're limited by the point size on the end of that nib on your Sharpie. But yeah, this down at the bottom here, it looks all pitted kind of. Like that would be really hard to do with a Sharpie.
Chipped paint coming off of a metal piece.
And if you let's say you spray your silver down, you put your mustard down, and then you spray like 3 good coats of black over the top and let it dry, you'll get like there'll be a lip on the edge of the chipping.
You get a depth to it.
I also used a little bit of steel wool to scratch up some of the surfaces. This would eat through the black paint down to the silver underneath.
That's the sort of thing you want to be really gentle with.
From the front of the gun. Then I could weather the entire thing. This was done really quickly and simply using a handful of acrylic paints. I simply wiped a bunch of paint all over the gun,
normal
all the
acrylics.
nooks and crannies and crevices, and then using a damp paper towel, I wiped most of them away.
This is another one where oil paints would look really good.
Until I was sufficiently happy with the
level
of
and Bill's
grime
using a little
on
bit
the
of
gun,
yellow
and
because
then I
with
could
black
call the
props
whole
it's hard
thing
to see
finished.
the dark
The last
brown.
thing to do would
Wonder
be
how much of that's still visible on this prop. If you take a look at that same spot. Oh boy, I hit this whole thing with a clear coat. You can totally tell. But it's I really don't see a lot of that yellow down in here. It just
I wonder if when you clear coated
there.
it really kind of blended everything together. A little bit of orange showing through from rubbing on the holster.
A little bit up top here. Yeah. But I can right away. My first thought is I blasted this whole thing with clear coat. Oh, it's kind of loose in there too. But I blasted the whole thing with clear coat, and that kind of made everything look like the same sheen, and that's not favorite.
Spray paint to help seal in that
now we know.
Paint job. And there you go. The entire build took me a little bit of an afternoon, maybe just like 3 hours or so. And there you go. It's Han Solo's blaster.
Yeah, lots of little spots where the orange is chipping through here.
And if you're
then that's from the friction on getting jammed in this holster.
It is exactly the sort of project that you should try and do. In fact, you should try and do it. And if you do, or if you do something similar to our Stormtrooper Nerf gun repaint, then I want to see it. You can tell me all about it in the comments down below, or give me a tweet over on Twitter. I'm at Chinbeard. Now, I am really excited to be wearing this to Emerald City Comic Con this weekend,
really fun.
And I hope I see you there. We're going to have a meetup on Saturday, and I'm going to be on a couple of panels. I will
Sounds about
link
right.
all of those down in the description.
We didn't do Emerald City
so
this year.
No, it just happened.
Videos.
Yeah,
if you really like
we did a
this
December
one,
version.
Share it with your friends. Give us a subscribe. And of course, you really want to check out the Foamsmith 2 book.
You do. Still available.
A lot of work into it.
Still great.
I think it's pretty fantastic. Thank you again for watching, and remember to measure twice and try not to hurt yourself.
We were trying out different sayings, and I really liked measure twice and try not to hurt yourself.
Well, there you go. A couple of, this cat. A couple of fun builds from the past Star Wars repaints. We haven't done a repaint video in a while. I don't have anything on hand.
Yeah, we do still have the GameStop Gallarhorn.
We do, and they're bringing it back.
They have a Nerf version available in the Bungie store. I think you have to get Gallarhorn in the game to be able to be put on the waiting list for it. But it looks like it's like the same injection molded model, just with Nerf.
That'd be kind of fun.
I think it shoots like big honking darts.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for this little trip down memory lane. You guys were wonderful. Thanks for the support. Please keep that up.
And thank you for putting up with our cat.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's now laying there looking sad.
No one pays attention to him. Oh dear. All right, gang. We'll see you next week with some more fun and shenanigans. Bye.
Meow. I don't think I'm gonna get my chair back today. This is just our life now.